Hi friends, Andromeda of Earth here. It is February 3rd, 2020. Learned that means it's 234 for the date. Interesting for numerology, kind of fun to have after the palindrome of 02022020. I'm sure you heard about that. Anyway, yes, February 3rd, aiming to do our February energy reading. A little late, in my opinion. So thank you so much for your understanding while I am adjusting, while my family is adjusting to the new edition that is now growing. I have earned the Empress card from the Simplicities Tarot that was drawn for me. We'll have a new baby in September, so we're super excited. Anyway, I'm happy to be here, and I'm feeling incredibly grateful for my amazing partner, Isaac, who is now in the bath with the baby. It's usually where he is while I'm doing my readings, providing space. I was just going to say working to provide space, but he doesn't even view being a parent, being a father as work. It's more of a privilege to him. And so, Isaac, I thank you. I love you so much. Probably the most excited to share the sigil. This I've been working on since part of the way through January. Just visualizing this energy came through really slowly, and then just all of a sudden, bam, made itself known and clear. So this will be ready to download to any of my patrons. It's actually on the lowest tier, mainly because I wanted it to be the most available. This is the thing that I probably hold the most dear, in that it's a piece of intuitive art. And after you download it, I encourage you to take a pen, take a marker, elaborate, color it, fill in your own lines, erase something, take it and make it your own. That would be really beautiful too. So if you do that, please share with me. That tickles me, all of me. So anyway, that'll be on my Patreon to download. I don't see why I won't be able to upload it tonight. It's here. So for the energy read, I wanted to do something extremely simple. Found this a few days ago. I'm taking the 3 different categories of the cards: the major arcana, the court cards, and the minor arcana. And as the spread suggests, I'm literally going to take the topmost card of those 3 categories, and those will be our spread. The major arcana will be our main developmental theme. Our court card is the best mental attitude that we can cultivate. And the minor arcana is the action advice. So very simple, very beautiful. For big energies like an entire month, creating a huge spread is just going to complicate things. Maybe that's why I still haven't done a year ahead spread for myself yet. The thought of 12 cards at a time, be like, whoa. So that'll be fun. I welcome any and only benevolent beings to this space. any ancestors, any ancients, any ascended masters who are in alignment with divine will and universal law are welcome here. How may we be best guided in this month with the Vindur Deck? So we're working with in my lab here. I love it. Such a beautiful deck. Also simple. But rich with meaning. I love you. I thank you. I'm sorry, and please forgive me. I trust you. I'll just start from the top. So our this is weird. Our minor arcana is the Seven of Cups. Here we go. I sigh and I mean maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Our action advice. Seven of Cups. This is the card for February that I received through Sincerely the Tarot, a monthly subscription, an offering of many beautiful things. And so of all the 78 cards, he had sent me the Seven of Cups. So to receive this as the action advice for all of us, you know, blows my mind. I think it really shows us the fractal nature of things. As I am experiencing things, so does my neighborhood experience those things, and so does my state, and so does the earth, and so does this universe. However big you want to be, you can be. And however small you want to feel, you can feel. It's that's free will. There's no one better than the other. Seven of Cups. 7 vortexes. In the traditional tarot, it's seen as a very chaotic kind of energy, because they like have all these cups that they get to, that seemingly is like put before them, so they have all these options and choices, and it's almost like delusions, right? Because they're just like poof out of nowhere in this cup, above this cup there's these like clouds and these like various, actually I've come to learn that all the things that are in those cups are speaking about our chakras, talking about alchemy, talking about moving from one state of cup into the next, all the way up, from lead to gold, in a sense. An interesting depiction in Leia's Vindur Deck being that this person almost seems like they're drowning. I don't know if you can hear in the background the baby. I mean, they're in the bath, you know, they might have been swimming or something. Maybe he stood and hit his head, you know, those things happen, you know. Maybe he wants something that Papa doesn't find to be safe. This is the time where he's gonna lose his mind over that stuff. You know, is that you? Are we drowning, you know, in a sea full of cups? You know, we just want that cup up there, that's the one we want. We got all these other ones. It's like they're neglected. I don't know. I'm hearing is, save yourself with the action advice. If you are drowning in a sea of emotions, start swimming, start kicking, start speaking your voice. That's what Ryder's doing. He's telling Papa something. Is it like you're saying something, but the message can't get through because the language isn't there? How can you resolve that? I'm gonna go see what they need, right? Do we need help? Do we need support? Hi, friends. Made it back. Yay! It's the next day, Tuesday. Been thinking a lot about where we left off. This cup situation. There's one up in the sky, that's where all of our attention is going right now, but that's not the one that's going to save us. The one that's going to save us is us, of course. But if you really need a cup, there's a cup right there in arm's reach. It's not this one. It's not the one on the horizon. That one's pretty far away. It's there, it's available, not like this one. This one isn't available yet. You got to work through the ones that are close first. So when I'm thinking about this in the realm of chakras, the first thing I think about is that ever elusive third eye that everyone is always wanting to open up, right? I think that's, it's all well and great, but it's not the only chakra that is good to keep open. In fact, the other ones, if we can do the other ones, the third eye will just open automatically. So start with the ones that are right there, that are available to you. Our root, sacral, and solar chakras are there, available all the time, and of course all of them, but I mean like with ease of like working with. Now granted, there's always exceptions to the rule, right? And I invite all ways. Working from the ground up has a very stabilizing manner and way. Let's think of a pyramid. We work from the ground up. The amount of work to start, is a lot more, and then every time we move up, there's a little less physical stuff for us to work through and dredge and create and manifest and all this stuff. Remembering that this is all an illusion, in the sense of we have access to all of the cups all of the time. So then it begs the question, why are we in this mentality? And I think the best reason why is because there's an obstacle or something that we are going to overcome, and that's the action, is the saving ourselves in the face of this unknown. You know, we're drowning in this one, but we're still alive, and we can go either way. When I think of sevens, it's either negativity or spirituality, and we have the option. Remember, 7 is an organizing number. 7 days of the week, 7 chakras. I mean, there's just, you know, an endless, not endless. There is a big list. I have a fun list. Maybe I'll post it on Patreon. If you care to know what this is some frankincense resin from Oman. Thank you, Angus and Perry. I felt highly, highly inspired and desired to be near this right now. So thank you. We'll just put it here so it's kind of still in our space. Kind of like watching it bubble. Place I have some orgone. The only orgones I have. It's a rainbow chakra little set. Perfect for these 7 cups. These 7 vortexes, these 7 energy centers that we have within us. Okay. I think we can move on to the next. From the top, I still have my cards sitting right here from last night. Okay, we have a minor arcana, and since we've already gotten the minor arcana, we can just keep going until we find a court card. Queen of Cups. Let's see if she focused for us. They're diving. You know, it looks like they're diving down, but interesting how the water looks like it's on the top. Right? Because like if she was like this, she'd be coming up out. Oh, interesting how now it focuses. Right? The card is now in focus. That's a message. You know, maybe it is supposed to be this way. Whatever way you think she goes. It's up to you. Just getting some of that frankincense. Also using a really interesting coal. It's an herbal coal. It has a aroma in and of itself. They're made in India. I don't know what the herbals are, but they smell amazing. So the Queen of Cups. She is the Queen of Hearts, right? Do I have my? I do have my reference. Tempting to remember what the spread for this said specifically. Best mental attitude to cultivate. So being cups, being emotions, we've got a really great chance to dive in to our emotions. Whichever way that needs to go. Are we diving in up? Are we diving in down? Are we diving in sideways? She is the holistic receiver. She is the mother, right? Unconditional love. The one thing I love about the playing card system that I've worked with, the cards of destiny, metasymbology, however you want to call it, anybody can be royalty in that system as long as you act out of love. You become the queen of the suit that is your birth card or your secondary card. Become that king or queen, depending on which role you participate in. Their hair is wild and free. They're not tied down. You know, they're just kind of, it almost looks like she's dancing. Right? Queen of Hearts. What does that mean to you? How can you cultivate the mental attitude of unconditional love? What happens when a loved one does something that you don't like? What happens when a loved one does something the exact opposite of what you had specifically requested? What does that do to your love? Does it make you want to withdraw? Is it give you, is it an opportunity? It is an opportunity to really see how the love fluctuates. The Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, you know, that mirror dream fantasy realm, down that rabbit hole, dream realm, right? That one was manipulative, coercive, you know, abusive. So, you know, and no doubt they thought that they were doing the best for the entire kingdom. And so, you know, our motherly ways, our ability to express that love without manipulation, you know, because that's what you're doing when you're saying that, you know, like, you need to do this, or I think you should do this. I think the best thing for you is this, and, you know, is your basically saying, I don't trust you. And I think I know better about your life than you do. Now, of course, I'm talking about unsolicited advice, right? If someone says, I need help, you know, what should I do? You know, there's nothing wrong with guiding them from your source of wisdom. But know that your they are not beholden to the wisdom that you've shared. In fact, it may even produce the opposite, you know, and you don't know which way we're going, like the card. Things that were up looked down, things that were down looked up, and that makes me think. And I've just heard, you don't know which direction is up, you don't know where to go or where we're going. Just don't move. Stay still. Gravity will show itself to you. The air that is within your lungs will carry you up. You can see the light if you actually open your eyes. Panicking won't serve. Being coercive, codependent, doesn't work. So thinking on the Queen of Cups this month, cultivating. Okay, let's see which major arcana comes up. I thought so. So the main developmental theme this month ahead, which makes complete sense with our full moon that's coming up, is strength, the Leo card. And I was just thinking, the reason I knew was because this goes to Jess. Jess, you just did the 2 cards. One was the Tower, and I knew it was number 2 for me. You know, obviously before I chose 2, and you chose strength. So I was thinking about that a little earlier. So of course, not at all surprised it comes up now. Our full moon is in Leo on the 9th, I believe. When I see this card, I see a human and an animal looking at each other in the eye. They are one. They are the same. The human has the lion by the mane, and it's not, you know, like ripping or anything. He's just they're just kind of holding the hair with a very, that's what I'm looking for, flat face. There's no reaction, versus the animal is snarled. So it's like a yin and yang kind of situation, you know, being an animal and human inside of us, looking at yourself in the eye. Have you ever done that? Some serious eye gazing. It's transforming. And I'm thinking about something that Jen at Natural Magics had said in their live this week. Real ego death comes after real ego claiming. Beautiful, by the way, thank you. And this being is grabbing their ego, their instinct, their very base, animalistic being, and claiming it, saying, "You're mine, you're safe, I got you, I got you. You won't be hungry. You want to search for your pride. It's here. I got you." And that is our strength. Seeing ourselves, looking at the part where we're snarling and roaring and on the prowl, you know, where we have our desires unmet, and saying, "I love you too. You're mine. I'm not going to ignore you. Your needs will be met." That is our strength. Think of Leo and creativity. Think of Leo and children. Play. How do you play? Is there time in your day for play? If not, why and what the fuck? Like, what's the point unless you're having fun? You know, comes in many forms, and now that we are adults, we get to choose, you know, what forms that come in, and what a privilege. If we all played a little more. How can you incorporate more play, more lightheartedness, you know? How is your heart feeling? You know, what fruits are coming to you in regards to all of these Leo things? What things are coming to fruition this full moon? And remember, we're, at least in the northern hemisphere, we're preparing for spring. Our neck of the woods, it's like it's gotten a little warmer. You know, all the bugs have come out now because things have thawed and had some interesting weather. You know, it's been pretty mild, and everybody's sort of in the mindset of what can we do to get ready for spring? Our shadow, so on the bottom of the deck, would be Justice. So I see Libra, balancing those scales and such. So being in our shadowed position, you know, is it feeling that life isn't fair? Right? We know it isn't. Something that we all have to gently show our children, in a way that sometimes chaos happens. You know, sometimes things happen, and we do our best to balance the scale, right? Sometimes things just don't measure up, and we balance it out in our own way. Like, I think about this person here wanting to keep these triangles even, but if one's heavier than the other, then they have to work harder on one side, whether it be the right or the left. So your creative or your logical sense. You know, but we also have, you know, the actual being in the center that we have to think about, right? That's really where the balance comes in, is the being in the center, right? And I think, you know, I was thinking about this because the corpus callosum came out when I was thinking about the thing in the center. It's like this thick band of neurons that connect the right and left hemispheres. So important. You know, they found that when cut, there is some serious disconnect that happens with a person's ability to function. It also, interestingly, can severely diminish a person's seizures. So this cutting, you know, can even be in a medicinal fashion. How do you get the balance? You know, are you putting more or less effort into something, or are you just simply cutting it out? Completely personal journey. You know, I see a red sun behind them, or a red planet, whichever planet you think that is, it is. I'm coming to a blank right now as to what planet rules Libra. You can look it up. It's the advantage of this time is that if you want to know some information, you can get some information, whether you are willing to go through the effort of acquiring it. You know, that's free will. That's up to you. Venus. Not typically a red planet. I see more orange. But Venus, as I remember, I believe is one of the hottest planets in our solar system. So justice as our shadow. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you again for your patience. I'll upload this as soon as possible.